Welcome back friends, this is Fraser from Art Studio. So as we celebrate India's 76th Republic Day and the completion of 75 years Diamond Jubilee, in this special tribute, I'll show you a very quick and easy method to animate the majestic fluttering of a flag using nCloth in Maya in just a few minutes. So let's start by creating a pole. For that we'll take a cylinder, primitive, and we'll just simply scale it a bit, okay, like so. We can also scale it along the X and Z axis, holding them together, the middle mouse button, and dragging it over here on the viewport. So that way the diameter will remain circular and we'll get the length we're looking for. So I'll just lift this up on top of the grid. So we get something like this. Now it's time to create the flag. So to create the flag, we'll simply take a plane and what we can do is we can subdivide it. Okay, the subdivisions width and height are by default 10 each. So we'll increase it to about 25 or 24 so that we get enough density for the deformations taking place while animating the nCloth. Let's scale it and make it a rectangular shape so that it resembles a flag. So we'll rotate it along this axis, as you see, x-axis 90 degrees, scale it to get more or less the size we are looking for. Something like this would look pretty good. And if you want, you can keep a little bit of space in between the flag and the pole. Yeah, so this looks pretty good. Once we've got the basic modeling done, it's now time to delete the histories and the freeze transformation. So I have the shortcut on my shelf, or else you can simply go to edit, delete by type or all by type, history, modify freeze transformations from here. So I have these shortcuts here. I'll simply select the mesh, actually select both the meshes, history, delete, and freeze transformations. You can select this cloth mesh, okay, and rename it as flag. So we are going to make the flag from it. So we'll name it as flag mesh. And this is the pole. So let's name it as pole mesh. So basics first. Now let's use Maya's nCloth to convert this into a cloth. For that, we'll need the FX menu. So select the FX, and once you select the FX, you'll get the options for nCloth and the various options we have related to that. Using the nCloth over here in the menu, scroll down to the second option, create nCloth. So as soon as we create this as an nCloth, we'll get a nucleus node and an nCloth1 node attached to the mesh. Alongside, if you go to the attributes editor, you'll find the nucleus, the attributes controlling it, right? Currently, our timeline has only 24 frames. So to get this proper animation, we need a lot more frames. So I will be adding around 500 frames for this. Now, once again, with the nCloth node selected, you can see you have the gravity and you can have various other attributes. So let's check what animation we're getting now. As you see, it falls down on the gravity as we play the animation. So how can you prevent the cloth from falling down? So the best way to do this is selecting the vertex over here and should select this pole. Now, once we do that, we'll go to the end constraint option and we'll select point to surface. As we select the point to surface option and animate, you can see our flag is now attached to the pole. If you go back, you can see it's worked fine because you have these constraints holding the flag to the pole. So simply select the vertex along the edge of the flag, shift select the pole or the mesh you wanted to constrain it with or hold it, go to end constraint, and since you are selecting point and the surface of the pole, select this option as point to surface to constrain it to it. That will hold the flag in its position. Now if we play the animation, we can see it's almost there, but we need to tweak it a little more. One more thing, as you create this constraint, you will find that we have an unrigid one and a dynamic constraint node created as soon as we make this constraint. Anyways, coming back to the nCloth, selecting the attributes of the nCloth, you can select it from the attribute edit as well, going to nucleus one. So if you select the nucleus from here, you get the same attribute. So as you can see, the wind speed was set to around 12.4. So if you want to increase or decrease the wind speed based on how much you want it to flutter, you can do that. I'll keep it to 12. Let's play the animation. As you can see, the speed is not so much, so it's not fluttering completely straightly. But if you want the air density to increase a little more, you can increase the air density and make it more dense, so that will have a heavier or weighty air, pushing it even more along the wind direction, which is from left to right on your screen. So increase the air density, let's say make it 2. Now let's try with the same wind speed. Now it will not flutter down so much like it was doing before. But as you can see, the animation is very uniform, and we don't want such a uniform wind speed. It's always a little bit turbulent and there's some variation in the wind speed. Okay, so we can use wind noise for that. So I'll increase the noise to 0.1. Now let's check out. If you want to increase the noise further, you can do that as well. You can keep the noise to 0.5. Let's go back and try it once more. This will give you a more realistic and a natural look. Let's increase the wind speed a little bit more and air density to 3. Increase the noise to 1. If you get the noise to 1, you can see you get more folds. If that is what you're looking for, then it's good enough. The 0.5 will do the job, and the air density at 2 was good enough. If you want, you can reduce the wind speed as well to 12. So you can play with the settings based on your desired look. So if you want the wind direction to flow from left to right, this is the correct direction of the wind as 1 over here along x. Whereas if you want the wind to flow in the opposite direction, you can simply turn this to -1, and the wind will be flowing in the opposite direction, that is from right to left, and the flag will be swaying in the opposite direction. So let's get it back to 1 and increase the noise a little bit more, 0.7. Let's try with this setting with a wind noise of 0.7 and wind speed of 12 and air density of 2. This looks pretty good to me, and let's go with the next step. So as we already have the flag fluttering animation ready with all the variations, so you can try and play with this with the settings to get your desired result. Let's come to the texture part. So simply, as you can see, if you go to the UV mapping, it's having a basic UV layout over here, right? If you have a texture already, like I have, depending on whichever flag you're making, whether it's some kind of a game asset flag, or depending on if you want to create a national flag or any other flag, you can simply assign a material to it. You can assign, if you want, you can assign AI standard material, but I'll be going with a simple basic Lambert for this. Assign new material, apply a Lambert, always use a new material to it, never use the existing Lambert one on it. Apply a new material. Let's name this as flag sh for shader. That's how I use it. And you can use the color node, click on it, go to file, and apply the textures. Indian national flag. So I'll be applying it to it. As you can see, it has some basic UV, which is just projecting along the entire grid over here. To fix this and make it look circular, simply you can just scale it down, or you can do a UV layout with planar projection facing this view. This way you can fix it very quickly. With that done, let's try the animation and see how it looks. Not bad. So friends, as you have seen, very quickly we can create this kind of an animation using nCloth in Maya. Just a few steps, constraining the mesh, uh, highly divided or subdivided mesh to the pole and then turning this to an nCloth. In case you see something like this, you have, let's say you have something like this where the wind speed is not high. Let's bring it down and it goes crashing against this pole. So when the wind speed is not so high and it comes down back onto the pole, intersecting the pole, you can always use a method which I'll show you very quickly to avoid that. So let's say the wind speed is very low. So it is going to penetrate, as you see, it is going to penetrate through the pole. So to fix that, simply what you can do is select the pole, go to nCloth and create passive collider. That will make it a collider, passive collider. That means the flag or the mesh which is animating as an nCloth is not going to react directly to it. It will calculate and it will not penetrate through it. Let's check it out. So as you can see, although the wind speed is low and the flag is coming down, but still it is not going to penetrate through the pole. As previously it was going through the pole, now it is resisting it because the pole has been made into a passive collider. Let's come back to our nucleus node and increase the wind speed to 12. Let's add material to the pole as well. Assign new material, and simply you can use a blend or a more glossy material for this. And you can also increase the specular values. You can increase the eccentricity, decrease the eccentricity like this. Specular roll off, you can increase it, and you'll get something more metallic. With the metallic values, so reflectivity set high, you can get something like this. For demonstration purpose, this is good enough. I just wanted to show you how you can use all this along with the basic. Now, as you can see at the back, it's getting black. In the viewport, if you just want to check it, how it will look from the other side as well, you can simply hit the spacebar. Go to lighting. In lighting, you can go to two-side lighting. That will light up both the surfaces. But in case you are doing a render, which you will do, then you can use the AI standard material and use a double-sided shader for it. More on that in another tutorial. So friends, I hope you have learned the basic art or skill to animate a flag very quickly using the nCloth. And along with that, I have added a few tips and tricks of how you can vary it, how you can control it, and how you can use certain more things. So let me know in the comments if you have any queries. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. See you in the next tutorial. Till then, goodbye, take care, and happy Republic Day to all the Indians staying in India as well as in abroad, staying all around the world. Stay safe. Love you all.